I'm Marriage Coach Lynn. Welcome to Let's Get Personal. I invite you to send in your questions and I will offer a response. These episodes are made when viewers send in questions. Today's question: I love my husband, but I am tired of his sloppy habits. How can I get him to care about his messes? I want to laugh at that question because usually in married couples, one is more of a neat freak and one is not. One doesn't care so much as the other, and it really drives the neat freak crazy. We all want a clean house. We want things to be nice and orderly. We don't want chaos. We don't want slovenly, sloppy habits around the house. Some of us have to scramble and clean up the house before we have guests coming over. But I would first ask you, do you have a mess? Are you paying attention to your mess? Are you focusing on his mess? You want to get him to care about his mess. Maybe he doesn't. And so what? You can do three things. You can do nothing and ignore it. You can clean up after him quietly, and maybe it's not a big deal. However, if you do this, do not form resentment or contempt. Do not be, you don't want something to drive your heart into stone or anger. So that's not a good option if you're going to hold him accountable and keep track in your mind of how he's failing, what he's not doing well that you would want him to do. You're not his mother, so you're not writing a report card for him. And the third thing to do, you could open up communication. You can ask, how can this is what I would like. How can we get this done? You know, there's at least three things you can do. I would like to suggest that another option would be every Saturday, the two of you clean the house from 10 to 11 side by side. This is just an example. Don't know how big your house is. Don't know what maintenance needs are needed. But if you set aside a time once a week for the two of you to both clean, then tell yourself throughout the whole week, I'm not going to complain. If he shaves and leaves a mess in his sink, just let it go. But on Saturday, it gets cleaned. So what you're doing is you're positively working on good behaviors. And maybe he'll clean Saturday. If he agrees to it, you agree to it, you'll clean on Saturday. And maybe he'll say, you know what, this is fun. Why don't we do this for 30 minutes on a Wednesday night, making sure the kitchen is clean, the floor is swept, and things are done. Because when you have a clean house, the both of you will notice and you will both enjoy it better. And so you kind of have to get the slob to see the value in a clean house. And if the slob does not see a value in a clean house, it's not really your place to nag, to criticize, to force him or her to clean. You can resolve this issue in a number of ways, and I hope my suggestions helped you. And until next time, make your marriage... Oh, wait. I just thought of something. I thought of a story to share. Oh. The story comes from author Gary Chapman. And the book that I read, written in 2010, the title is Things I Wish I'd Known Before We Got Married by Gary Chapman. And he starts off the first chapter when he was a newlywed. His wife would just leave kitchen drawers open. Silverware drawers, cupboards. He'd walk into the kitchen and everything was open. He didn't trip on it. It wasn't a nuisance to him. It was just something he didn't like. So he tried for about 6 months to a year. I don't know the time frame. Let's just say 6 months. He tried a number of ways. He tried telling her what she should do. He got passive aggressive and slammed the drawers so she would hear. Nothing worked. Nothing. She did not improve. She did not change. Finally, it dawned on him, let's say 6 months later, this is just one of my wife's habits. So what? So from that point on, he just decided to walk into the kitchen and smile a big smile, knowing that this was his beloved wife, and she leaves the cupboards open and the drawers open, so he simply closes them. And from that point on, it wasn't a problem in their marriage. So think of that story when you're bothered by something that might not be very important. What's the big deal? Until next time, make your marriage great.